Hello, welcome. This is World Business Report. I'm Ben Thompson, and we're going to start with those pretty challenging times right now for Tesla. The electric car maker has slashed the price of its cars in some major markets after similar price cuts in the US. The price of its Model 3 was trimmed both in China and Germany by around $2,000. While all of this after the EV maker reported a fall in global deliveries for the first time in 4 years in the last quarter. Elon Musk's company has also been grappling with falling sales and a price war in what is the world's largest auto market, China. Well, Tesla will report its quarterly results later this week. So let's speak to David Bailey, who's Professor of Business Economics at the University of Birmingham. And David, no great surprise. We know that Tesla has been struggling to shift these vehicles, but quite a significant cut, designed, one assumes, to get those sales numbers back up.
Yes, a really difficult quarter for Tesla, very bumpy road, as you just laid out there. We also saw a recall on the Cybertruck. And clearly the price cut they'd done before, a year ago, really hasn't stimulated sales. And as it looks at the moment, deliveries for 2024 this year likely to be flat compared to last year. So a very challenging environment for Tesla. What's going on is that the EV market globally, growth is slowing. And also lots more competition has arrived, particularly from China, which can make electric vehicles at very low cost.
Yes, and talk to me about that competition, because if people are thinking about making a switch, given the cost of living crisis we're seeing in many developed economies around the world, they might think, I'd like a Tesla, I can't afford one, I'll go for a cheaper Chinese-made one, and that competition is really hitting their bottom line, isn't it?
Very much so, and we're seeing this kind of wave of Chinese cars arrive, particularly in Europe. So the ports in Europe are full of Chinese electric vehicles that are arriving. They're not just cheap, they're also very good quality. You look at cars like, for example, BYD, very good batteries in them as well. China's been making electric cars for 25 years. They've got scale, they've got experience, they can produce at very low cost. So that is a massive challenge for Tesla. And there is a question mark over Tesla's strategy, because their strategy has been about scale and cost. Can they compete with the Chinese? They've been aiming for a cheap $25,000 car. That seems to have been postponed, and they seem to be going more into autonomy.
Yes, and investors aren't that convinced that they can do it. I'm just looking at the numbers. Tesla shares down by more than 40% since the start of the year. Do you think a price cut is enough to win back confidence of consumers, given, as you said, there's so much competition and people just don't have a lot of money in their pocket right now?
Exactly. So there's huge kind of cost of living squeeze that's taken place in many European countries and the UK in particular. Tesla clearly have to cut prices. And from the point of view of a consumer, electric vehicle prices coming down is great. That's going to encourage take-up. But the Chinese can go much, much further. So there's a question mark about how far Tesla can go on this. And also, if they go down the kind of robo-taxi route that they're saying, which has really kind of propped up their share price, I'm not sure that's going to work. And I think what we're seeing really is the Tesla share price in particular being judged as a car maker rather than a technology company.
Yeah, and that's an interesting distinction, isn't it? And I wonder, though, David, what happens next? Is this a race to the bottom in terms of price? Because we know Tesla reshaped the market for electric vehicles. It made them desirable. But ultimately, it will be a competition on price, won't it?
Yes, I think it will be, particularly in the mass market. Of course, they can differentiate themselves in the premium market, but that's not where the massive sales volume is going to be. So I think the question is, can Tesla not only reduce its price, but also its costs fast enough to continue making profits, or are they going to be outcompeted by the Chinese?
We will talk about it again, I am sure. David, though, for now, thank you. David Bailey there at the University of Birmingham. Thank you.